head over to first base. And now the batter will be Zabdiel Martinez. Zabdiel, the right fielder for Puerto Rico. He has a couple of teammates on base here, one at each corner. Williams gets ready to battle here against Martinez. Martinez showing bunt as Peguero racing to second. They throw to second, but the shortstop cuts it off, and they will get the runner at the plate. So nicely done by South Lexington. Had the shortstop just at the end of the infield grass, ready to cut that one down and throw it towards the plate. So they erase Flores. Peguero will advance to second, but now with 2 away in the inning, the lead runner was retired. So a good play, certainly something that one of those plays you probably practice a lot and executed it well in the game. The 1-0 is over the plate for a strike, evens the count at 1 apiece. That's always a good feeling for a team when you spend so much time working on a situational play like that and you actually do get to do it in a game and it works. That is where the practice pays off. The 1-1. This one lifted towards left field. Comer looking for it towards the line, and he will look up and make the catch for out number 3. Puerto Rico gets a couple on, but cannot bring anyone across the plate. We are through half an inning, still scoreless. We'll see the first at-bats for South Lexington when we return. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Ripken Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Ripken Van Til.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. Need a winning formula? We have one. Region Sports is powered by Pulse Technology, the official toner provider of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So, Adrian Peguero will be on the mound for Puerto Rico, goes through his final warm-up tosses. It'll be Blackerby, Hill, and Williams due up here to bat for South Lexington. So those 3 will look to try to get things started offensively. After Puerto Rico was able to get a couple runners on base, but some nifty defense by South Lexington helped them escape that spot and keep things scoreless through the first half inning. We'll see now what this inning has in store as we get a look at the right-hander Peguero, looking to try to have a solid start to the day. Puerto Rico trying to get their first win of the tournament here in the group stage. Here is the leadoff batter, Grayson Blackerby. He plays center field and bats left-handed. So the pitcher and catcher get one last chat before they will get things rolling here. Peguero on the mound and Maldonado behind the plate. Here's Peguero's first pitch. It is inside. Blackerby stays away from it. So the count starts 1-0. Certainly for both teams now, in your third day in the tournament, you can have an idea of what the competition looks like, where your team stacks up in the field. So trying to make sure you keep things rolling here as you're now into the full swing of things. The 1-0 has a fastball high, makes it a 2-0 count, but certainly no now where your pitching staff is, where everybody's pitch count is, who is still available, who needs to rest for later in the week. So important to try to pick up some wins at this point in the tournament today. The 2-0 high and away. We go 3-0. Piguero delivers. There's another fastball that's just above the zone, so it's a leadoff walk to Blackerby, and that always helps when you get the leadoff man on base without having to put the ball in play. So a walk brings Griffin Hill up to bat here. We'll see how aggressive South Lexington is with the runner on first base, Blackerby, if they look to get him on the move as he steps out to a lead at first base. Piguero towards the plate. Blackerby is running to second. The throw down. He will get there before it. It's a stolen base at second. Blackerby moves into scoring position. The 1-0. Fastball high. Makes it a 2-0 count. South Lexington winners of their first two games, trying to get another strong start here. Piguero's pitch. He takes it for a ride into the right center gap. This will roll to the fence. Rounding third, hustling to the plate is Blackerby. He will score. And just like that, South Lexington strikes first. An RBI single from Griffin Hill. That was a big swing by Hill and put it into a good spot when you can send that one into the gap, and it continues to roll all the way to the fence in right field after making impact with the ground. That certainly helps out South Lexington, allows Blackerby to score from second. Now the starting pitcher, Griffin Williams, will bat. And Hill is off to it's a balk, so he would have advanced anyway, but he was attempting to steal second. Well, he's moved up anyway, so the pitch won't count. The balk moves Hill to scoring position. South Lexington has one run in already, would like to add another. Well, Puerto Rico trying to find some ways to get some outs. The pitch from Piguero is high for ball one. Is just above the mark as well, so it's now a 2-0 count. So certainly for Piguero, just trying to get things into the zone here and try to get strikes, looking for the first out of the inning. On the 2-0, it is flared towards right field just above the first baseman, giving Hill a chance to go past third towards the plate. He slides in now to second. Williams, he is safe as well. So Williams drives in another. It's a 2-0 lead for South Lexington. Williams with the RBI base hit and then moves up to second on the throw. He sent that one just above the head of the first baseman. He went airborne. He went up, but still above the vertical leap. And we might see things shuffle around defensively for Puerto Rico. It looks like we will. So there's a new pitcher. We'll give him some time to warm up. We are in the first inning, and you're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. So Peguero is out. He will move to right field, taking Martinez from right to center. And then the center fielder, Khalil Rodriguez, will go to the mound here. With his team trailing by a couple runs, he'll look to try to quiet off the South Lexington bats here in the first inning. Rodriguez takes over, and he'll have to he inherits one base runner. That'll be Williams at second base. But for now, you have to just attack, get outs. Can't get rid of those runs that have scored, but you can prevent the lead from increasing. And it'll be up to Rodriguez here. Certainly you don't want things to get out of control in the first inning against a team in South Lexington that is 2-0 so far. So making a quick move to bring in a new pitcher. Puerto Rico calls the number of Rodriguez. Rodriguez prepares for his first pitch, takes a peek at the runner at second base, now towards the plate, fires a strike to the corner. That's a good sight for Puerto Rico here, getting Rodriguez in to attack the zone, looking for some outs here. On the 0-1, this one driven towards left field. It will bounce to Flores, allowing the runner Williams to move up one spot. Aaron Smith was the batter there. He delivers a single now. It will be Micah Comer. So Comer bats with runners at the corners. 2 runs have scored this inning, and there's nobody out. Comer, the left-handed batting left fielder, waits for the pitch from Rodriguez. Here it is. Inside towards the backstop. The catcher tracks it down, but the runner moves up. Smith at second base now. So Smith at second, Williams at third. The batter is Comer. The 1-0 pitch from Rodriguez is lifted to shallow center field. It will land, and it gives Williams the chance to motor on in and cross the plate. So another run is in for South Lexington. Williams scores on the base hit from Comer. It's now a 3-0 lead.
Number 22, Tate Denton.
Tate Denton will bat here. Smith stayed put at second base. That was a tougher spot for him as the ball landed just beyond second base. So if he were to try to advance, one of the middle infielders might have been able to throw over, get him. The first pitch from Rodriguez to Denton is elevated towards second base, where the catch is made by Ramos for out number 1. So a fly ball contact, but it didn't travel too far near the base, and it was the second baseman, Ramos, who was able to get there and records the out. Will Dodds will bat here. Dodds, working as the extra hitter in this game, bats right-handed against Rodriguez. The 0-1 from the right-handed pitcher. Skipped foul along the third base line. On the 0-1. That'll be outside, and both runners will look to advance the throw down to third base. Smith is safe. So, good job by the catcher, Maldonado, to read that carom off the backstop. The brick backstop can really send these ones with some different bounces than a fence would, and Maldonado turned, was in a good spot to react and get to it, and then a fast throw to third base, but Smith slid in before it as the count is 2-1. The 2-1 pitch was a ball. Rodriguez makes the move to potentially have to cover the plate, but no action from the runner. So 3-1 is the count. There's one out. South Lexington has rallied for 3 runs in their first at-bats here in the first inning. And they have the chance for more. And now the 3-1 pitch from Rodriguez is low for ball 4. It's a walk, and now the bases will be full for South Lexington. Dodds is aboard.
Now batting, number 6.
And the catcher, Dax Thompson, will pick up the bat and do some swinging. Thompson steps up with a teammate at every base and only 1 out, so a big opportunity for South Lexington here. Rodriguez has been able to produce 1 out, trying to get another here. The first pitch is elevated to the shallow center field area where the second baseman Ramos is there, camps out under it for out number 2.
Now batting, number 24, Elijah Ellis.
Elijah Ellis bats here with the bases full, 2 outs. He has the maximum on, and they're trying to keep this rally going, in which his team has produced 3 runs already. They have 3 runners on base. The pitch from Rodriguez. Ellis started to bring that forward. It drops in for a strike. That's good for Rodriguez, opening the at-bat with a good pitch. And now that he just got the second out, he can attack here, knowing there's a plethora of ways you could get that final out with the force active anywhere. The 0-1 fouled to the netting. So the count is quickly 0-2. The 0-2 from Rodriguez. Tap towards shortstop. Calderon is there. He will collect and throws to first base for out number 3. But South Lexington rallies. They get 3 runs in their first at-bats. We will head to the second with South Lexington leading over Puerto Rico 3-0. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. And be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports, as we are always on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Leo Stauder with you on the call. Clint Klaus and Aaron Svetlin make up the rest of our crew and our management team of led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, operations manager Rich Castillo, and sports director Mike Dewan, doing a great job making this whole week possible. Certainly the bosses at the top had a lot of work to do, shuffling around the crews and the broadcast times, locations last night, but the show went on, and they did a great job making sure through the weather delays and whatnot that we still had everything covered, as here's a high fly ball to the right side of the infield. The first baseman Denton will make the catch. Castillo flies out, but a busy week of baseball here. We certainly had a few curveballs yesterday, but we're able to work with things, and it was a fun day, too, with an instant classic between Unionville and Eastside, where they had to wait for a almost 3-hour rain delay, then came back and played a thriller of a game that went into extra innings, and Eastside earned the win, but Unionville certainly with some stellar moments in that game as well, as the count is 0-1 to Rodriguez. That was one of the big highlights of the weekend so far, was that game between Unionville and Eastside. Right now we have Puerto Rico and South Lexington battling. South Lexington leads 3-0. Williams still on the mound to pitch. His windup towards the plate, and that gets Rodriguez. He's hit by the pitch. He will make the walk over to first base, but that one was a tough one as he was trying to get out of the way, and it gets him. So his teammates and coaches will make sure he's all right as he's given some time to head down to first base. So he's hit by the pitch, and it'll be the next batter will be Dylan Calderon. Calderon batting here, the shortstop, will work with Rodriguez at first base. But Rodriguez being given the time and opportunity to make sure he's all right. One away here in the top of the second as Puerto Rico had two runners on base in the first inning. One was thrown out trying to score at the plate. The other was left stranded at second base. And here is Dylan Calderon. So Calderon, the shortstop, bats left-handed. And after giving up the crooked number in the first inning, Puerto Rico trying to respond here and doing so quickly, getting a runner on base. And Calderon will see if he can get that runner on the move here. Williams gets set and will fire to the plate. Calderon pokes that bunt towards third base. The pitcher barehands it, throws to first. Just able to get him. And now the runner is away from the base at second, and he is tagged out too. So 2 outs recorded on the play. That will end the top of the second inning. South Lexington turns 2. We will head to the bottom of the second with South Lexington ahead, 3-0. You are watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Athletic Performance Factory in Highland, Indiana, we push you to be bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive. Challenge every muscle with our cutting-edge sand speed and agility training. Build rock-solid strength and core stability to dominate on game day. Rent our full-size outdoor turf field for team workouts and practices. Improve your swing, boost your field skills, and protect your arm with expert one-on-one baseball and softball training built around you. We develop the entire athlete, mentally and physically. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here!
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network.
Number 3 from South Lexington, his name is Aaron, not Aaron. Aaron.
And ordering groceries has never been easier with online shopping at Strack and Van Til. Save time and money, in-store sale prices, pickup or delivery, online coupons, rewards, points, and more. Shop strackandvantil.com. As we will start the bottom of the second inning. So a crazy play to end the top half of the second. Puerto Rico had a runner on first base. They tried to lay it on the bunt. The runner was thrown out. The pitcher did a good job of getting it and throwing to first base. And then the runner, well, we'll get to it after this. Fly ball to center field where the catch is made by Martinez. That was Brooks Freer who made the fly out. But so then the runner who advanced to second took a turn at second base, and they threw over to second, so he was caught a step off the base where the tag was applied as Grayson Blackerby will bat. A fastball thrown in by Rodriguez for strike one. The 0-1 tapped away, fell. Blackerby walked and scored in the first inning, but Rodriguez was dropped in with 2 runs, having scored already. And now he'll look to go some length here as the relief pitcher, first called upon for Puerto Rico against South Lexington. But the count 0-2 to the left-hand batting center fielder, Blackerby. The 0-2. Ground ball towards second. Ramos is there. He will throw over and makes the play at first for the second out. So now 2 quick outs. Puerto Rico settling in here. That can be, sometimes that happens. After a first inning where you give up a few runs, but then that next inning you bounce back and you just get quick outs and you find your rhythm. You find what's working defensively, and you will try to get those outs quickly and then get the bats back up to put runs on the board. Griffin Hill chops one away, foul. So Hill goes swinging at the first pitch, was a little bit ahead of it, fouls it away towards the third base dugout. The 0-1 from Rodriguez is outside for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. Hill had an RBI single and then eventually scored in his first at-bat. Scored one of the 3 runs for South Lexington. On the 1-1, he fouls it to the netting, and he really got a hold of that single. That base hit went deep into the outfield, and it was well struck, and now the count 1-2. But a ball and 2 strikes to Hill. Hill working as the shortstop this morning, pardon me. This one's cued towards shortstop. Hill goes down the line, and he will reach. So Hill is aboard with 2 outs, and that's so big, getting a 2-out base runner. When you shorten your approach, just try to get defensive, reach base, especially a 2-out base runner when there were 2 strikes in the count. Hill able to get aboard there. Sets up for Griffin Williams to bat. Williams also had an RBI single in the first inning. Hill racing towards second. The throw just behind him. Or that's Williams. Williams batting, Hill on base, both named Griffin. So we'll have Hill at second base. Williams, the batter here. It's 2 players with the same first name batting right behind each other in the lineup. The 1-0 from Rodriguez. Williams sends it on a line towards second base, but the catch is made by Ramos for out number 3. South Lexington gets base runner, but he will not score. We will head to the third inning with South Lexington ahead 3-0. You are watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Welcome to Diamond Plate, your new go-to sports bar with a casual vibe and elevated ballpark favorites. Dig into hand-breaded chicken tenders, juicy burgers, build your own pizzas, and don't forget our full bar stocked with local favorites and everyday classics. Located inside Athletic Performance Factory. Diamond Plate brings the fun with multi-sport simulators, duck-pin bowling lanes, plus party space for birthdays, holidays, company outings, and fundraisers. Diamond Plate, where every bite, every sip, and every play is a win.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. South Lexington in the field. Williams still pitching. It will be Ramos, Rodriguez, and Martinez batting for Puerto Rico as they will look to try to generate some offense here. They've had base runners, but outs have been produced by the South Lexington defense. Certainly that not sure if you could call it a double play, but the bunt and then the runner thrown out at second was a way to squash some of the momentum that Puerto Rico was building in the second inning. So they'll look to see if they can start a new rally here in the third as they're down by 3. But certainly Khalil Rodriguez pitching well in the second inning gave his team a chance to not spend much time in the field defensively. Now they're right back up batting here with a 3-run deficit in the third inning. So Josniel Ramos will bat here. Ramos is the second baseman. He had a couple of fly balls hit his way in that half inning, and he gets one off the end of the bat, cracks it towards third base. Smith scoops it up, throws across the infield for out number 1. So that was Aaron Smith making the play at third base. Smith with on a slow roller off the end of the bat, had to move in to get to that one, handled it, and threw to first. So nicely done there. The windup from Williams is low for ball 1. Here is Khalil Rodriguez. He started the day in center field. Now he's the pitcher for Puerto Rico, and he'll look to try to help out his own cause here. Waiting on the 1-0 from Williams, his counterpart, the opposing team's pitcher. It's high and in for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch is once again high for a ball. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. There's a strike from Williams, makes it a 3-1 count, and so he's trying to battle his way back in, but still a hitter's count in favor of Rodriguez here. The windup and the pitch. Upstairs for ball 4, so Rodriguez on base. It's a walk. He's aboard. Puerto Rico has had 2 batters reach on walks, one with a single and one was hit by a pitch. So they've had opportunities with runners on now, trying to find a way to get them not just into scoring position, but to eventually score. As Kerwin Martinez bats here. Throw over from Williams. It gets away. Rodriguez will now step up and moves over to second base. He took a wide turn looking to go to third, but stumbled a little bit and then throwing over. So taking things one base at a time for Rodriguez, getting over to second. But he had that wide turn at second base and losing his footing a little bit. Maybe, just made the smart call to just stay at second base there instead of trying to push things and go for third. The pitch from Williams is inside for ball 1 to Martinez, who's the 10th batter in the lineup, so the top of the order on deck for Puerto Rico. They have a teammate at second. Martinez working as the extra hitter in this game. For the 1-0, that's a fastball inside, makes it a 2-0 look. Williams looks to his catcher, looks at the runner at second base, now kicks, goes to the plate. The 2-0 pitch is inside, and it hits Martinez. Martinez will make the trot down the first base line. He's aboard, so that one will put 2 on. Second hit batter of the game for Puerto Rico, and now Angel Maldonado will bat for Puerto Rico. Maldonado with a chance to make an impact here. 2 friends on base, 1 out in the inning. His team is behind by 3. Maldonado flew out to shortstop to open the game. And the pitch from Williams is high for ball 1, but what a spot for Puerto Rico, who's been trailing since the first inning. Now they could make an impact here, try to work their way a little bit closer. The 1-0 pitch. Check swing, and it finds the bat, goes to the backstop. He was stopping the bat about halfway, and then it just goes right off the bat and ricochets to the net. So that will even the count at 1-1. Williams steps back and fakes the throw to second base, allowing the runner to slide back safely. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball inside sends Maldonado back. The count now 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 from Williams. Fastball into the zone. The count now even at 2 apiece. A good fastball from Williams evens the count after he initially fell behind. And this at-bat, he has now even things at 2-2. He gets ready to go. The 2-2 lifted towards center field. Blackerby has a read on it, makes the catch, tagging, going for third is Rodriguez. The throw beats him there. He's out. 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat. That's how the top half of the third inning will end, with some good defense from South Lexington. We are through 2.5. South Lexington leads over Puerto Rico 3-0. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Welcome to Diamond Plate, your new go-to sports bar with a casual vibe and elevated ballpark favorites. Dig into hand-breaded chicken tenders, juicy burgers, build your own pizzas, and don't forget our full bar stocked with local favorites and everyday classics. Located inside Athletic Performance Factory, Diamond Plate brings the fun with multi-sport simulators, duck-pin bowling lanes, plus party space for birthdays, holidays, company outings, and fundraisers. Diamond Plate, where every bite, every sip, and every play is a win.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. Let's take a look at that last play that ended the top half of the third inning. We see a fly ball to center field and a good throw by Blackerby, and then Aaron Smith applies the tag for the out. So turning 2 with 1 swing of the bat. That's the second time we've seen that from South Lexington. Some good defense on display here, as that was... They tried to have Rodriguez tag and go to third, but then he was thrown out. Blackerby with a good throw to Smith, and that will set the table for South Lexington. They will have Smith, Comer, and Denton batting here. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. So Aaron Smith, one of the players who helped work that double play at third base, he will bat here. Smith singled in his first at-bat. His team leads by 3. Rodriguez has been brought in. He was dropped in a couple batters into the game and has now done a good job of keeping these South Lexington bats in check, but they could try to rally here after now they've seen him for a couple innings. We'll see if they can find a way to start producing again. Rodriguez towards the plate. Just misses outside with that fastball. And you wonder if he knew he was going to pitch at some point in this game, but probably wasn't expecting to be brought in after only a couple batters. But he's been up for it here. Rodriguez has, putting really after those first couple runs, has been able to work quickly and find the zone. The 1-0 is low for a ball. We go 2-0. I mean, he worked a short inning in his last inning, inducing a couple flyouts and a ground out. So certainly a good effort from Rodriguez here. The 2-0. It's low for a ball, and it goes 3-0. You see that sometimes when the pitching plan, when you have to go off script and bring someone in earlier than expected, you never quite know how they might respond, and sometimes all you have to do is just make the most of it. As there's a strike, makes it a 3-1 count. Yeah, your warm-up might be different. You're brought in the middle of an inning versus a clean inning, but you just got to shake things off and go to the basics and work on the mound. Now the 3-1 from Rodriguez is low for ball 4, so Aaron Smith walks to start the third inning. And Micah Comer, who had an RBI single in his last at-bat, will step up to swing here. The left-handed batter works against a right-handed pitcher. He will loop this one into center field, so a walk and a single start the inning for South Lexington. Comer is 2 for 2. So the first pitch, and was just able to get it a little bit above the hands, below the barrel, but still muscle it towards center. Tate Denton will bat. Denton flew out to second base in his previous at-bat. And the first pitch was a ball to Denton from Rodriguez. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, and it hits the bat. He was trying to stay away from it, trying to pull up, and then it just goes right off the bat and foul. It's not exactly what he was hoping to do here, but it evens the count at 1-1. Rodriguez gets set, his 1-1 pitch. Ground ball toward shortstop. Calderon gets in front of it, but all of the runners will be safe. Calderon had to slide to his left to get there. He stopped it, but allowing Denton to have enough time to get on to first base. There's a pitcher warming up for Puerto Rico, and they'll have to send somebody over to stand in front along the outfield line. Will Dodds is the batter. Dodds steps up with a runner at every base. Rodriguez checks up on Smith at third. And a lot going on there, but everybody stays put. Smith at third, Comer at second, and Denton at first. So a South Lexington player on every base. The first pitch from Rodriguez to Dodds is upstairs for ball 1. So Rodriguez just needs to, with the force active at any base, a ball in play, there's a lot of options for where you could go here in order to get an out. The 1-0. Outside, we make it a 2-0 count. A look from Rodriguez, getting prepared for the 2-0 pitch. Here it is. Outside makes it a 3-0 count. The 3-0 pitch is inside for ball 4, so it'll be an RBI walk for Dodds. That brings Smith in to score. Smith scores, Comer goes from second to third, Denton from first to second, and Dodds, the new runner, at first base with an RBI walk. 2 walks on the day for Dodds. Dax Thompson will bat. Thompson found himself up in a bases-loaded spot earlier, but flew out to second, and we'll see another new pitcher in for Puerto Rico. They will make a call to the pen, so we will step aside as the new arm gets ready to work. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Located just one block north of the square in Crown Point and just 1 minute from Jerry Ross Park, Station 21 American Grill is one of the city's most popular eateries. Station 21 offers a full menu from steaks and seafood to burgers and wings. While in town for the Cal Ripken World Series, stop in and enjoy comfortable dining while watching a game on one of the 28 big screen TVs. Check out the menu at station21.com. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, and relax.
Transfer 23, straight. So Sebastian Ocasio will pitch here. Sebastian Ocasio pitches as you are watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So we will see Khalil Rodriguez go from the pitcher's mound to left field. Rodriguez takes over in left. He started the day in center. As Ocasio gets ready to work, so we'll see what he can do now here after Rodriguez gave a couple solid innings, but then South Lexington able to figure things out, and they've produced one run in this inning. Now the bases are loaded and nobody out here, so there's the chance for more. Can't close the book yet on Rodriguez as he would be responsible for those runners who are on. The runner at third base will be Comer. At second base, Denton, and Dodds at first base. So Ocasio in to pitch. And it looks like Milton Castillo moves to first base. So things shuffling around a little bit for Puerto Rico. And I think Rodriguez now at third. Maybe Martinez. And there's a lot of different faces in different places in this inning. The defensive alignment rotates a little bit, but we'll get things sorted when they're up to bat. At least Ocasio gets a strike to Thompson on his first pitch. Thompson was up in a similar spot, bases loaded in the first inning, flew out to second, so he'll look to see if he could get a different outcome this time. The 0-1. Elevated towards center, and the center fielder will charge in, makes the catch for out number one, and that's a big out to get for Puerto Rico. He loses his hat in the process, but he'll go pick it up. That's Flores in center. Flores was the original left fielder, but now he's in center, and I think Martinez is at third. That's all if you're keeping track of the subs at home. Now a fly ball to left field. Rodriguez has a beat on it, makes the catch, and the runners will not try to test him. So back-to-back flyouts to the outfield. Well done by Ocasio to start things off here on his first two batters faced. Has delivered 2 outs. Sebastian Ocasio pitching here. And the batter, Brooks Freer. He watches the first pitch in for a strike. Freer batting in the bottom of the third inning. He flew out to center back in the last inning, in the second. Takes a first pitch strike from Ocasio. On the 0-1. Drops low for ball one. The 1-1 pitch. Poked foul, so the count 1-2. Ocasio is a strike away from getting out of this inning. One run has scored already, but certainly with the spot they're in right now, Puerto Rico, you could live with that if you can sneak out of here with the maximum on base. It's time for the 1-2 delivery. Ocasio looks to the plate. Here's a line drive into center field. It will land. One run is in to score, and everybody moves up one spot, so that brings Comer home. It's now a 5-0 lead. An RBI single from Freer makes it a lead for South Lexington. That was a good rip there. Denton goes from second to third. Dodds from first to second, but with 2 outs and 2 strikes, just get it right in a good spot in the bat and drive it to center. Pitch is high for a ball. To the top of the order, Grayson Blackerby. Blackerby walked in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second. That pitch is inside for ball 2. The pitcher does a good job covering the plate to prevent anyone from advancing. And a balk. There's a balk as the pitcher was getting set, so that will bring in Denton to score. It's now a 6-0 lead. Everybody moves up one spot each. That hurts for Puerto Rico as the balk brings in a run. It's now a 6-0 lead, a 3-run inning for South Lexington. The 2-0 pitch was called a ball. So it's now a 3-0 count, so first base is open. But there are 2 on, 2 away. Casillo gets ready to deal here. The kick and the pitch. It's a fastball for a strike. Now Casillo steps off and will look to reset things. Kicks the 3-1 pitch. That is ball 4. That will put Blackerby on base. So he walks, moves up. The base is loaded again. Freer is at second and Dodds at third. And the batter will be Griffin Hill. Hill has 2 singles in a day, a run scored, and an RBI. So he's helped produce this 6-0 lead. And the first pitch from Casillo is a strike. Nice pitch there by the right-hander, Casillo. Or, pardon me, Ocasio. Ocasio pitching here. The 0-1, Sebastian Ocasio has the count now knotted up at 1-1. Ocasio dropped into a tough spot and has made the most of it, working a couple outs and just trying to get his team back to the dugout. The 1-1 outside makes it a 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch from Ocasio. Outside, the count now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch misses up high for ball 4. It will be an RBI walk for Hill, bringing Dodds in to score.
Now batting, number 12, Ripken 11U.
Freer goes to third base, and Blackerby to second. Hill is aboard, and Griffin Williams will bat here. Williams had an RBI single in the first inning and then lined out in the second. That's outside. Williams doing the pitching on the mound for South Lexington. The count's 1-0. A good fastball from Ocasio makes it a 1-1 count. No, I think that fastball was low, so the count 2-0, and now the catcher calls time. The catcher was correct. Catcher calls time to check the count. It is a 1-1 count. It's a good catch by Maldonado. But Ocasio looks to his catcher. Maldonado kicks, goes to the plate. The 1-1 pitch is lifted foul beyond the press box, makes it a 1-2 count. So Williams down to his last strike. We'll see if Ocasio can find a way to get him retired here and get the Puerto Rico team back to the dugout to try to get to work offensively here. The 1-2. Bouncer towards the pitcher. Ocasio collects it, races over, throws to first base, will retire Williams. So Ocasio gets the final out, but Puerto Rico scores, or South Lexington scores 3. We are through 3 here. South Lexington leads 6-0 as we will head to the 4th. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strachan Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strachan Van Til.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. South Lexington leads over Puerto Rico 7-0 after a 4-run third inning. It is still Williams on the mound for South Lexington. He will be facing Flores, Peguero, and Martinez. The batters do up here. As we'll see how Puerto Rico can try to rally here. They've had runners on base. That has certainly happened in this game, but then it's been good defense by South Lexington, has erased some of those runners when they've been trying to advance. So now we'll see if they can get runners on, keep them on, and bring them home. As we start the 4th inning. So Flores bats here. Flores works left-handed against Williams, who has thrown 3 scoreless innings thus far. The windup and the pitch from Williams is a fastball outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Flores skips it towards first base. Denton will get there and steps on the base for out number 1. So Denton calls for it, gets it, and will do it all himself for out number 1. And that could be when that ball's hit to that spot where either second or first can handle it. It's important communication, make sure everybody knows what to do here. Not only that you get it, but know, all right, now I have to step on the base, that you don't toss it to someone who isn't there because they didn't know they had to cover. And that was a good job by Denton to call for it there. The first pitch is high for a ball. Adrian Peguero batting here. He was originally the starting pitcher. Now he's in the outfield. Takes the first pitch for a ball. The windup from Williams. Here's one lifted in the air towards right field. A trio of South Lexington players go for it, but it's the center fielder, Blackerby, who will make the catch for the second out. So another scenario where communication was key there. You had center field, right field, and second base all going for that one, and it was the center fielder, Blackerby, who made the call that he had it, and he did make the catch for the second out. And now Zabdiel Martinez will bat here for Puerto Rico. He flew out to left field in his first at-bat. The first pitch is a strike. And the 0-1 is high, evening the count at 1-1. Williams gets him to swing over that next pitch, so the count a ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Fastball high, the count now with 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. The 2-2. Outside for a ball, the count goes full at 3-2. Martinez had a fly ball to left field in his first at-bat. He flew out. The payoff pitch. He sends that one towards short, going deep. Back for it is Hill. And the throw just behind. Racing it down is Martinez, so he's aboard. But a deep play made by Hill. He was in the outfield grass to get that one and threw it bouncing across the infield. A good dig by Denton, but Martinez beats it for the single, and now Milton Castillo will bat. Castillo batting here with a friend at first base and 2 outs in the inning. His team looking for a run. The first pitch is low for a ball. Puerto Rico 0-2 on the tournament so far with losses to Manoa and Black Hills, but trying to find a way to get a rally here in the 4th inning. The 1-0 is low for ball 2. Time is called as the catcher needs to adjust his equipment and will be given some space to do so. 2 balls, no strikes to Castillo, who flew out to first base to open the 2nd inning. Now his second meeting with Williams here. The 2-0 pitch. Line drive to third base, but Smith handles it. Barely had to move a muscle there. Makes the catch for out number 3. Puerto Rico gets a runner on, but leave him stranded. As we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning, you're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. As you stay tuned after the game, we'll name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. So we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Sebastian Ocasio stays on the mound for Puerto Rico as the last out was recorded by Griffin Williams, so it'll be Aaron Smith leading off here. Smith, who made a nice play on the line drive at third base in the top half of this inning, will bat here. Smith, we saw him single in the first inning, walked and scored in the third. So Smith makes his third trip up to the right-handed batter's box.
Lexington, number 3, Aaron Smith.
So Smith batting here, the right-handed hitting third baseman. As the defensive deployment adjusts for Puerto Rico, Peguero goes behind the plate, and now Martinez is at third base. Count is 1-0 to Smith. He swings over the next pitch for strike one. So a good off-speed delivery by Ocasio. But it's a 7-0 lead for South Lexington here in the fourth inning as the pitcher and catcher will talk things over. And a new catcher, Peguero, who's played all over the diamond today, has pitched, played the outfield, and now catching. So he's talking to his pitcher, Ocasio, to make sure he has the right signs and strategy and whatnot. On the 1-1. Fly ball by Smith, curling towards the right field corner. It is deep but foul. A big swing by Smith for a long strike two. That one was a little bit to the left. That could have been trouble. Might have even left the yard. The 1-2. Smith this time floats it towards left field, but the catch is made by the shortstop Calderon for the first out. So Smith with a couple big swings in that bat. He flies out. And now Micah Comer bats for South Lexington. Comer has reached base twice with 2 singles. He's driven in a run and scored a run, so responsible for 2 of the 7 runs today for South Lexington. This one's in the air towards center field, and the catch will be made by Flores for out number 2. Flores, we've seen he's lost the hat a couple times each time he's raced in, so but handling things there. And there are 2 outs, 2 balls put in the air, but 2 catches made by Puerto Rico defenders. And now Tate Denton bats with 2 away and nobody on. It's been a quiet inning so far for South Lexington. Ocasio is trying to keep it that way. His first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, 0-1 the count. Ocasio was brought in relief and has pitched well so far. Here's one tapped foul. Oh, 0-2 the count. Ocasio quickly is ahead in this at-bat. 1 strike away from getting through this inning. Ocasio starts his windup. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A 1-2-3 half inning. We will head to the 5th inning with South Lexington leading over Puerto Rico 7-0. You are watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. As the batter will be Sebastian Ocasio. He was brought in to replace Sebastian Rodriguez, so Ocasio bats here. So this will be his first time picking up the bat and swinging in this game. Here in the top of the 5th inning. So Ocasio leads off. He threw a very quick 1-2-3 inning, including his first strikeout of the game the last time up. So now he earns the opportunity to bat and do some work here. So Ocasio will bat here against Williams as Puerto Rico is looking for their first run of the day against South Lexington. The pitch is inside for ball one. The 1-0 is also high for ball two. So Williams has been the only pitcher used so far for South Lexington. He works now in the fifth inning. Scoreless so far. Or he has thrown 4 scoreless innings. His team leads by 7. They scored 3 in the first, 4 in the third. But the count 3-0 to Ocasio. And it will be a walk. The pitcher walks to start the inning. So that's the way you want to start for Puerto Rico. They've had runners on base, a couple of singles, some walks, 2 hit batters. And now Ocasio makes his way over to first base, and Dylan Calderon will bat here. Calderon will look to try to see if he can get Ocasio on the move. Left-handed batting shortstop for Puerto Rico. First pitch from Williams. Calderon skips it towards second base. Ellis gets there, throws to second for 1, but the runner's safe. Safe is Ocasio. He beat him there. Nice hustle at second base. Everybody's safe on the play. So they tried to flip it to second to try to turn 2, but Ocasio raced down and beat the throw there. Well done, as now runners at first and second, and Chasniel Ramos will bat for Puerto Rico with 2 aboard and nobody out. So Ramos bats. He shows bunt, taps it towards the pitcher. Williams collects, throws to first. That will be 1 out. So a sacrifice bunt by Ramos does his job, moves his teammates up.
Now batting, number 11.
Ocasio goes to third, and Calderon to second. And Khalil Rodriguez bats here with 2 aboard, 1 away. He's trying to put his team on the board as they trail 7-0. The windup and the pitch from Williams. Rodriguez drives it high, foul, and out of the concourse for strike 1. Rodriguez so far 0 for 0 as he had a walk in his first at-bat, so looking to reach base, but could do so in a big way here with runners in 2 in scoring position. The windup from Williams. Ocasio caught halfway between third and the plate. Now he has to go sliding back in. So we've seen Sebastian Ocasio a little aggressive at third base, and he had some good speed. Liked what we've seen from him so far on the base paths. As he's trying to make something happen here for his squad. The count is 1-1. Here's the next pitch from Williams. Check swing by Rodriguez. And it looks like he did go, so the count is 1-2. So Rodriguez behind in the count. Looking to lock in here. The 1-2 pitch. High and to the backstop, but the catcher reacts and keeps it in play, so the count is 2-2. Time called at the plate as Rodriguez has things even at 2 apiece. There's 1 out on the inning after the sacrifice bunt, but Rodriguez trying to bring the runners home here. The 2-2 pitch is at the corner for strike 3. Rodriguez retired on strikes. So now Puerto Rico down to their last out here in the inning. It'll be Kerwin Martinez.
Number 6, Kerwin Martinez.
Martinez bats in the top of the 5th inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. So now he gets his second look against Williams. And Ocasio swipes home. He will score. Sebastian Ocasio catches us all by surprise and goes sliding into the plate. Well done. And he just... Wow, watching that again, that was a good play by Ocasio. The speedy runner gets in and scores. Good job by Ocasio to help his group out. I didn't even see him running. It was just, he came right in the frame and scores as the swing for strike one by Martinez. The count even up at 1-1. Ocasio, as the runner steals third, by the way. Calderon now one spot away. The 1-1 pitch. That's just, I've been impressed by the effort on the bases by Ocasio to beat what they were trying to, fielder's choice, beat it at second base, and then swipes home in the same inning. He's certainly been active on the bases, and it gets his team on the board. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball between third and short brings Calderon home. Rodriguez picks up an RBI, or Martinez picks up an RBI. An RBI single. Calderon scores. Now the top of the order is up in Puerto Rico, just like that. 2 runs in the same at-bat after Ocasio and Martinez both score, and we're going to see a meeting at the mound. I think that's the end of the line for Williams. So Williams goes 4 2/3, and they will bring in a new arm to pitch. And we'll get that all sorted out. So stick around. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Athletic Performance Factory in Highland, Indiana, we push you to be bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive. Challenge every muscle with our cutting-edge sand speed and agility training. Build rock-solid strength and core stability to dominate on game day. Rent our full-size outdoor turf field for team workouts and practices. Improve your swing, boost your field skills, and protect your arm with expert one-on-one baseball and softball training built around you. We develop the entire athlete, mentally and physically. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here!
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. Micah Comer comes in to pitch for South Lexington after Puerto Rico. Now with a bit of a 2-out rally, Sebastian Ocasio steals home, and then an RBI single from Kerwin Martinez brings Calderon in to score. So Puerto Rico, with 4 outs remaining in this game, is up to something here. It's been a theme. I've talked about it a lot in these broadcasts, but when you're trailing by multiple runs, what you do in the penultimate inning is sometimes just as important as what you do in your last at-bat. So playing only 6 innings, the 5th inning can be really important to help your team chip away at a deficit, and that's what Puerto Rico's done here. So we've seen them put 2 on the board. Now you take what was a 7-run deficit and make it a 5-run hill that you have to climb up, especially after we saw a quick inning worked on the mound by Ocasio. So let's see what they can keep doing here. Swinging well with 2 outs, and now the top of the order up to bat, Angel Maldonado, as the first pitch is outside for a ball. They throw it on the first base, but Martinez gets back in time. But Puerto Rico showing some energy here in the 5th inning. They've been fun to watch in this frame. How often do you see a batter steal home on a play that it didn't get past the catcher? It was right to the catcher. Here's a bunt laid down by Maldonado. He's racing the first base, but he is out. The play made. So the bunt ends the inning, but Puerto Rico gets on the board. They score twice. We're through 4.5. It's a 7-2 lead for South Lexington on the Region Sports on the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Welcome to Diamond Plate, your new go-to sports bar with a casual vibe and elevated ballpark favorites. Dig into hand-breaded chicken tenders, juicy burgers, build your own pizzas, and don't forget our full bar stocked with local favorites and everyday classics. Located inside Athletic Performance Factory. Diamond Plate brings the fun with multi-sport simulators, duck-pin bowling lanes, plus party space for birthdays, holidays, company outings, and fundraisers. Diamond Plate, where every bite, every sip, and every play is a win.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. So Sebastian Ocasio stays on the mound for Puerto Rico, and what a inning he had at the plate. He reached base with a walk. They then was racing to second base when South Lexington was trying to throw to second on a fielder's choice. He then beat that play, was safe, and he advanced to third base on a bunt, and then stole home to score, a play that even caught me by surprise. I was thinking about that. How often do you see a player steal home on a play that goes right to the catcher, just sneaks right by the catcher? I mean, there was that Cubs game against the Dodgers a couple weeks ago where Pete Crow Armstrong kind of stole home, but that was an overthrow at third base. But that's something PCA would do there, just stealing home on a pitch right to the catcher and making it safe. So well done by Ocasio to put his team on the board. Then they would add one more, so it's now a 7-2 game, and we'll see what he can do now on the mound after he worked a 1-2-3 inning with 2 flyouts and a strikeout in the last half inning. Ocasio was brought in relief in the 3rd inning. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2 to Will Dodds. Dodds, 2 walks on the day, a run scored, and an RBI. So his team leads 7-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout for Ocasio in as many batters. But so we'll have more action coming up at this diamond in the 12 o'clock hour as I check the master schedule. There's going to be a pinch hitter. Good catch, Aaron. Be a pinch hitter for South Lexington, so a lot going on here. Dean Ledbetter will bat here in the 5th inning. So Dean bats in place of Dax Thompson. Here in the last of the 5th inning. But at this diamond, at 12:30, we'll see Hawaii Kai versus Unionville. We saw Hawaii Kai with a good game on Friday, beating Eastside. Here's one elevated towards right field. It will lands in front of the right fielder. The throw at first base, he's still safe, so a single for Ledbetter. But Hawaii Kai against Unionville. Unionville had quite the day yesterday with that 3-hour rain delay, then switching fields and making their way into extra innings. So it seems like I just saw them a couple hours ago, but they'll be back in action a little bit today. And Elijah Ellis bats here. So Ellis takes the first pitch. count 1-0. Ellis 0 for 2 on the day, a ground out and a fly out. Looking to get on track here against Ocasio with a runner at first base and 1 out. The 1-0 pitch is a ball. So the count 2-0, but Ocasio trying to work quickly here for a Puerto Rico team that trails by 5 but has been showing some energy these last couple innings. But they'll need to try to keep the score where it is currently. Anything more than 5 could really be a tough hill to climb up with only 3 outs to spare. As the count now 3-0. Ocasio's 3-0 pitch is outside for ball 4, so Ledbetter moves from first to second. Ellis will walk. He's on base for the first time today. Now the batter will be Brooks Freer in the 5th inning. He had an RBI single in the 3rd. So Brooks will bat with 2 on and 1 away. As the first pitch bounces outside for ball 1. But Freer, the 10th batter in the lineup, so the top of the order looming here. Up next, the 1-0 pitch from Ocasio. Fly ball skied towards left field. Rodriguez calls for it, camps out, and makes the catch. That's a big out to get, the 2nd out of the inning. And now Grayson Blackerby will bat. Grayson bats with 2 down and 2 on. Or it'll be a new batter. It'll be Marshall Mendenhall. Marshall Mendenhall batting in place of Grayson Blackerby. So Mendenhall bats in the bottom of the 5th inning. Stands left-handed. Or bats left-handed. I don't know if you could stand one particular way. Either way, he will be in the left-handed batter's box. Trying to do some swinging here with 2 away, 2 on. His team up by 5. And Puerto Rico trying to keep things where it is. With them being down to 3 outs remaining when we'd be back for the 6th inning, they would have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters up. The first pitch to Mendenhall. A fastball for strike 1. Sebastian Ocasio pitching for Puerto Rico, his 3rd inning of work. Figueroa started the day, then Rodriguez took over, and now it's been Ocasio. The 0-1. Off the end of the bat, foul. So no balls and 2 strikes in the count to Mendenhall. Ocasio gets ready. Goes to the plate for his 0-2. It hits him in the front foot. It hits him. So that will load the bases. Mendenhall hit by a pitch, and the batter will now be Griffin Hill. So a hit batter makes it a situation for South Lexington where they have a runner at every station. As Mendenhall given some time to walk it off along the right field line. But Mendenhall is the runner at first, Ellis at second, and Ledbetter at third.
Now batting, number 23, Griffin Hill.
Griffin Hill has reached base 3 times today, 2 singles and a walk for Griffin. And he'll get ready for the first pitch from Ocasio as everybody is ready to go. Right-handed batter, Hill, scored in the first inning, had a long RBI single in that frame as well. This first pitch from Ocasio was outside for a ball. Nicasio trying to sneak his way out of trouble, walking the tightrope here, gets a tipped away foul, so the count even at 1-1. And trying to do what he can to get his team back up to the plate in the next half inning. They trail by 5, trying to keep the deficit at a handful. But the count even at 1-1. He looks to his catcher, Peguera. The next pitch in the zone, inner third for strike 2. So now Hill, with the bases loaded, is down to his last strike, trying to avoid leaving the maximum. It's happened twice in this game where South Lexington has had the bases loaded and left them loaded. So they don't want to be a trend here today. The 1-2. Fly ball in the air to right field. Who has it? The right fielder does. He makes the catch for the third out, I think. Yeah, that was the third out. They threw to the plate, and everybody seemed to be confused by that, but that was out number 3, throwing home just to make sure, I guess. But so South Lexington loads the bases but will not score. They leave the maximum. We will head to the 6th inning. Stick around. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Located just 1 block north of the square in Crown Point and just 1 minute from Jerry Ross Park, Station 21 American Grill is one of the city's most popular eateries. Station 21 offers a full menu from steaks and seafood to burgers and wings. While in town for the Cal Ripken World Series, stop in and enjoy comfortable dining while watching a game on one of the 28 big screen TVs. Check out the menu at station21.com. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, and relax.
Comer still pitching. Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. Micah Comer still pitching for South Lexington. He'll try to get the final 3 outs, while Saul Flores bats for Puerto Rico. He'll see if he could try to ignite a rally with his team down by 5. So certainly with 5 runs to get and 3 outs to spare, you don't want to waste the early batters, so you need to get them on base and get them moving. And just get runners on by whatever means necessary, doing what they can here. Flores reached in the first inning, then was thrown out at the plate. He singled. That was against Williams. Now he faces Comer. Puerto Rico and South Lexington here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll have Unionville and Hawaii Kai playing in the next game. That will be around 12:30, and we'll be excited to see what that one has in store. Seen both of those teams play as Flores tries to lay it on a bunt, but it skips backwards to the catcher, Thompson. So Thompson collects, but it was foul. Owen won the count after that foul ball by Flores. Flores tips away the 0-1 pitch to the backstop, so the count goes to 0-2. Comer just trying to, knowing with the big lead here and only 3 outs to get, you can just attack and throw strikes. Don't need to do much pitching around these batters. You can go right at them. Just need to get outs. The 0-2 is strike 3 called. Flores retired, so now Puerto Rico down to 2 outs remaining. And the batter will be Adrian Peguera. Peguera started the day as the pitcher and now takes over in the outfield. Well, he then went to the outfield, then to the catcher. So he's played a lot of different roles defensively, and now will bat here. He reached base with a walk in his first at-bat. The first pitch from Comer is outside for a ball. The 1-0 is low. Peguera has to roll out of the way from that one. to avoid being hit by it, and the count 2-0. And that's with playing on the turf infield like that. He's going to get the turf pellets all over the uniform and the shoes. That'll be one to clean up later. Now he grounds that one to shortstop, and moving down the first baseline, he will be safe. Deep in the hole to short, no throw will be made, as that would have been a tough one for Hill. So it's a one-out single for Adrian Peguero. Now Zabdiel Martinez bats for Puerto Rico. Martinez, 1 for 2 on the day, had a single back in the 4th inning. So he bats with a teammate on base and 1 away. Peguero steps out to a lead at first. Martinez tips it to the backstop, foul. So Puerto Rico trying to see if they can build a rally here with a 5-run deficit, 1 out in the inning, and a runner on base. But a big spot here for Comer to try to work his way out of it. Next pitch outside for a ball. We go 1-1. Peguero slides back to first. Micah Comer pitching for South Lexington. He was dropped in the last half inning, faced 1 batter, and now will look to do the heavy lifting in the 5th. 1-1 outside, ball 2. So 2 balls to a strike. Pitch to Martinez. He sends it in the air towards center field. This one traveling to the track. It lands at the base of the wall. Peguero round second. He's going for third. Martinez with a stand-up double. Moves another runner into scoring position. So a big swing for Zabdiel Martinez. One of the longest hit balls we've seen today. Martinez really got a hold of that one. So it'll be Milton Castillo batting with a couple buddies in scoring position. Castillo works right-handed here. Peguero at third base, and Martinez is at second. The pitch from Comer is high for a ball, and Castillo starts to count 1-0. They look Peguero back to third base. We saw Puerto Rico steal home already once in this game. They have Peguero to a lead. I don't know if we'll see them try it again here with 1 away, but Sebastian Ocasio had that move. The 1-0, and still just, that was one of the more entertaining plays we've seen this week so far. Like a little like PCA there, just stealing home while the pitcher was in his windup, and the pitch didn't go past the catcher or anything, too. He framed it, but then just safe was Ocasio. The 2-0 bounces in for ball 3. So just like that, Ocasio is the batter on deck. So it'll be tough for him to live up to his last trip on base, but they're trying to get him up here. 3-0, first base is open. The pitch is high, so the walk will load the bases. Castillo at first, Martinez at second, and Peguero at third. And here will be Sebastian Ocasio. So we've already made the Pete Crow-Armstrong comparison. We'll see if he can do here with the bases loaded, but some aggressive base running earlier and some tough pitching on the mound. Ocasio has made the impact for Puerto Rico so far. And on this mound visit, are we going to see a new pitcher? Yes, we will. So we'll step aside while the new man gets warmed up on the mound. So stick around. You're watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack and Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack and Van Til.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. So Griffin Hill takes over on the mound for South Lexington. He has some work to do here with 2 outs and a runner at every base. So Griffin Williams goes to short base. Hill on the mound. I think we'll see a new right fielder. That's Brooks Freer as well. So everybody moving around here. And Comer, not sure if he's still on the field. We'll get that sorted out. But now it's Sebastian Ocasio. Ocasio batting with 1 on and a teammate at every base. The pitch is high for a ball. Ocasio walked and scored on that stolen base in the previous inning, back in the 5th inning, to score the first run of the day for Puerto Rico. He steps up with what would be the tying run on deck. The 1-0 pitch is a strike, so the count goes 1-1. A ball and a strike as Hill winds up. Ocasio swings through the fastball for strike 2. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch. Ocasio lifts it foul, but backwards out of the concourse. The 1-2 fly ball, and it's foul. Foul out of play. So 7-2. South Lexington leads the count 1-2. The pitch to Ocasio. Behind him for a ball. Everybody stays put, not trying to test them and advance. So the count goes even at 2-2. It was a 2-run 5th inning for Puerto Rico, and now they have the bases loaded here in the 5th as there's a mound visit. Between the pitcher and catcher, talking over strategy here, trying to figure out what they want to do. With 1 away and the bases loaded, a variety of ways you can work things if the ball is put in play. The force active at every base. The 2-2. Ocasio lofts it towards center field. The catch will be made by the center fielder, and that prevents anybody from being able to tag and try to score. That's Blackerby in center. So the fly out to center field is the 2nd out. And Dylan Calderon will bat. Calderon reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning and would score. He's the last chance for Puerto Rico here with the bases loaded and 2 away. They trail by 5. The pitch from Hill is low for ball 4. It gets away. Figueroa's going towards the plate. He slides in. And he's out. Out at the plate. And that's how this one will end. Figueroa caught at home. And Puerto Rico's comeback attempt falls short. Figueroa caught trying to score on that passed ball. And just like that, the game ends with South Lexington ahead 7-2. So the two teams will line up to shake hands, and South Lexington moves to 3-0 in the tournament, while Puerto Rico falls to 0-3. So that's how this one ends. We will step aside and come back with the post-game awards. So stick around. You are watching the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Companies Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Welcome back to the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network as South Lexington defeats Puerto Rico 7-2 here in a well-played game in the group stage. Now it's time to hand out some of our awards. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was from South Lexington, Griffin Williams, who threw 4 2/3 on the mound, had an RBI single at the plate. So Williams, with a very good effort, setting the tone, throwing a few scoreless innings to pick up the win for South Lexington. He was our superhero of the game. Now it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was from Puerto Rico. It was Sebastian Ocasio. He was dropped into a tough spot on the mound, worked a couple solid innings, 2 scoreless frames, and then had one of the crazier plays we've seen all weekend on the bases where he stole home to put his team on the board. We'll touch on that one in a moment, but Ocasio, with a burst of energy both on the mound and at the plate for his team, earns the blue-collar player of the game accolade. Now it's time to name the proud-to-be Union play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a Union Ironworker. Tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game was that play back in the 5th inning. Sebastian Ocasio at third base. He steps out to a lead running with the pitch and then slides in to score. Just a crazy play to steal home to get the run. So that was tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395 Union Strong. A big thank you to everyone involved with this morning's broadcast. It's still morning, I think. It's afternoon now. But this morning's broadcast, including our management team at Region Sports Network, led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, our operations manager Rich Castillo, and the sports director Mike Dewan. And to our broadcast crew, Klaus running things, keeping everything running smooth as our producer, and Aaron Svetlin tracking all the action on camera. To the coaches from each side, Joshua Ellis of South Lexington and Anthony Ramos from Puerto Rico. And to all of the accommodations made by the Crown Point Cal Ripken tournament crew, to Adam Whitehouse, the tournament director, and all of the tournament volunteers. Thank you as well to the viewers at all across our many platforms at regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, Facebook/Region Sports Nation. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for following the 2026 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Coverage of the 11U Cal Ripken World Series is made possible by Blue Crew for all of your umpire needs, Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn. Visit Michigan City LaPorte. Closer than you think, better than you imagine. Ironworkers Local 395. Proud to be Union. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Bricklayers Local 4. The best hands in the business. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made. Diamond Plate Eatery and Pub. Eat, drink, play. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT. Public Bar and Rec, Make it public.